Welcome to another lesson. This is to prepare you for the final exams, the final achievement test, the final writing assignment, and the final oral exam. And of course, we have 5 more pop quizzes. I know you will appreciate that, but we have 5 more pop quizzes. Um, and so, Maria Torres, I can give you, say the one thing to you. Don't worry, no more pop quizzes, okay? All right, we're gonna start. So let's talk. First assignment: talk about last weekend or your last holiday. What regrets do you have? And use past models and the third conditional in your speech to talk about last weekend. How could what could have you have done differently? All right, pause and make sentences. You can send me a mail. You can open a mail, and while doing this presentation, and send me the mail, and I will have a look at it. I would love that. So pause and think about this, please. Okay, but you can say I should have spent more time on doing my homework. If I hadn't gone to the beach, I wouldn't have had such a good time. If I hadn't drunk so much, I wouldn't have gotten into trouble. Something like that. So past models and third conditionals are very good to talk about the past, imagining a different past. Right? Okay. Oh, this is Amsterdam. People love riding bicycles in Holland. Um, Wait, no, we're not gonna do this. I'll get back to this beginning. Survival of the fittest. Remember, survival of the fittest? Now think about what does this mean? Pause, please. Survival of the fittest means that companies compete with each other and the strongest companies win. And there are many different ways of competing because companies can have different strategies. And there are different topics we discussed, and some can be related to this survival of the fittest. Every company is looking for a competitive advantage to make sure that customers will choose to buy their products at their company and not another company. Our overall goal is always to survive as a company, to make profit, but also on the long run, not just make short-term profits. So companies try to distinguish themselves. They try to find a competitive advantage. They try to lower costs, increase sales. Yes. And then again, it's okay. It's survival of the fittest. Competition is important, but is it only about money? I would say no. Pause and think about this. Why is it not only about money? Pause, please. And now I'm thinking about Itza, who wants to open a vegan restaurant. I mean, probably uh, when she would open a normal Commodore, she may make more money. She wants to open a vegan restaurant because that is what she believes in. So values are important as well. If you have values as a company, customers will appreciate that. Certain groups of customers appreciate that. For instance, certain customers like to buy fair trade coffee because they know it has been produced under good circumstances and farmers get a better price for it. So those values, and it's also, if you have values, there will be less risks that the company there will be a scandal about the company. So and that may and you, so you get a good image if you have values as a company. And also there are people in companies as well, and these people have values. I mean, Would you do everything to pass the English exam? I don't think so. There are certain values you have. I mean, would you steal the answers if you could? I don't think so, because you have certain values, right? I mean, of course you want to pass, but you have certain values, and you have a strategy uh, to do self-study, to spend enough time preparing for it, and also values are part of that strategy. And each company has a mission, and also values are related to that mission of the company. For instance, improving the quality of life. At the same time, my question to you is, if a company has as mission, wait, I'm gonna write this down. Improving the quality of life. Does this mean that's the mission? What does this mean? This is a good company. Pause and think about this. My first reaction is, of course not. There are a lot. Each company wants to have a mission statement. It communicates to the world, and reality may be different. That's why we have NGOs who try to find out the dirt about companies. And maybe this company is doing very bad things, and this is just a way to cover it. Or maybe it's in between. I mean, they're not really bad companies. They're just these companies that sometimes do bad things. And of course, people might demonstrate against your company or might start a boycott, and you don't want that. So you better live up to this. But for instance, pharmaceutical companies are generally unethical. Look up on the internet. I mean, do your own research, form your own opinion about this, but do have your doubts about companies. They want to have a good image, but you have to find out, what is McDonald's really doing? Is it really good for the environment? I don't think McDonald's is good for the environment, but I don't have time to talk about this now. Go to Google, YouTube, find out for yourself. Okay, so the first chapter was about leadership. Do you remember leadership? There are many styles of leadership. Autocratic leadership. I am your boss and you do as I tell, otherwise you will get into trouble. I know what's best for you. You are my subordinate. You do as I say. Democratic. I don't know. I want to offshore our department to India. I want to have your opinion about that. No, no, please don't offshore. You're such a good department, and no one can do such a good job as we can. Democratic. Laissez-faire. I want you to sell $10,000 next month. How you do it? That's up to you. I mean, of course, you have certain values. We have a mission, but you have autonomy to do it in your way. I just set the goals. How you make sure those goals are met is your thing. Coaching. I'm going to help you improve the way you work. Let me see. How are you doing things right now? You should be more confident. You should do this. I'm going to help you. Okay, a lot of noise here. Okay, bueno. I'm going to help you become a better employee. Transactional. You work well and I will give you a bonus. You don't do your work well, I don't give you a bonus. Visionary. I have a vision. I know where to go with this company. And let's come with me, Steve Jobs. And, well, of course, motivation is always important here, you know? Motivation. Keep your employees motivated. I think it says that once, you have to know your employees. That's very important as a manager. Very important. So my question is, what have you learned from this unit? Think, pause, and think about that for a minute. What have you learned from this unit? What is a good leader? What have you learned about being a good leader? Think about that, pause, and think about that for a minute. Pause. I think a good leader knows his employees and knows when to be what. I mean, sometimes he needs to be autocratic, sometimes he needs to be visionary or coaching. And it also matters what kind of, is it a CEO or is it a supervisor? It matters what kind of leader you're talking about. Strategy. Remember strategy? Do you like that topic? Why is having a strategy important? Tell me. Pause, please. Okay, it's important because you have to have a long-term vision, a long-term plan of how to survive as a company, how to compete as a company, how to get competitive advantage, how to distinguish yourself from competitors, or how to be better than competitors. So you need to set goals, you have to have values, a mission, because you don't do everything you can to meet those goals, because you need to have certain values. You need to treat people in a good way. You need to treat suppliers in a good way. You should think about safety and about the environment, because otherwise you may get into trouble. Demonstration, boycotts, bad publicity. Okay. And what is a strategy exactly? Think about that for a minute. Okay. So, and think about this. What can be reasons not to buy this company? Pause and think about that. Pause, please. Several reasons. One, maybe the other company is active in a different industry than you are. So you want to focus on your core business activities, because this other company does something completely different. You may make money, but I mean, you can't. It's not good to focus on too many things. Of course, that's just an opinion. The company Pellas focuses on a lot of things, but it's one way of thinking that you should focus on your core business activities. The other one is you have a mission, values. You have a culture. The other company, does it have a different culture than your company? Does it have different values, a different mission? Itza, would you like to buy McDonald's if you could? Well, maybe Itza wants to change McDonald's completely, but I don't think she's very interested, because McDonald's is a fast food company and does many bad things for the environment. I don't think Itza wants to be associated with that. Or another company that has values. In a mission statement, it says it's a sustainable company. Don't buy McDonald's. No. Even for a bargain, I would never buy McDonald's. No, that's having values. Offshoring. Okay, let's offshore our activities to India. So why has this increased over the last 20 years? What are the drivers? Okay. Well, go to your book and go to the picture with the geese and the people on it. The first page of the unit, and read that small text about the unit. Pause, please. Of course. What globalization, the increasing connectiveness between people, companies, countries, and the increasing exchange of money, products, information, values as well. So these have all spread around the world, and globalization is a driver of offshoring. Another driver is in technology. Think about this for a minute. Well, you better try first how it goes on a small scale before you do it on a large scale. First start with a pilot project. Of course, if you want to innovate, it's better to start with a prototype before starting mass production. Yes. Always better to start small, see how it goes, learn from that, and then go big. What are the risks of offshoring? Do you remember? Pause, please. Of course, difference in culture. People may copy your design, so counterfeiting risks, confidentiality risks. They may share information with competitors. It just takes one email these days to share information with a competitor. Maybe the quality will be bad. Very big risk. Will the quality be the same? The quality of the product you produce there, the clothes you produce in Bangladesh, maybe? Or will they treat your customers in a good way? Are they knowledgeable? They help a call center? Can they help your customers in a good way? All are risks. And are there extra costs, hidden costs? You don't know. So a lot of risks. I'm gonna stop here because it's closing here. So this is it for now. There will be a second video about this topic.